Today, we're breaking down how three of the biggest names in entertainment spend their millions on houses. And trust me, the differences are wild as hell. Kim Kardashian docked $25 million on a minimalist beige palace in Hidden Hills that looks like a museum. Taylor Swift owns over $100 million in properties, including an $18 million Rhode Island mansion where she hosts legendary 4th of July parties with Blake Lively and basically conquered an entire Tribeca block in NYC for $47.7 million. And then there's Eminem, who's worth $250 million but said nah to the Hollywood lifestyle and lives in a $4.75 million mansion in the same Detroit suburb he grew up in, complete with Fort Knox security and a recording studio in his basement. We're talking about a reality star turned billionaire, a pop icon with a real estate empire, and a rapper who stays loyal to his roots. And today, we're showing you exactly where they're living. Before we dive into the most insane celebrity real estate showdown you've ever seen, we're grinding to hit 1,000 subscribers, and we need your help, so smash that subscribe button right now. Taylor Swift is not only an icon in music, but also in real estate, amassing a property portfolio worth over $100 million spread across the USA. Since reaching billionaire status last year, thanks largely to her record-breaking Eras tour, Taylor's collection of homes has drawn plenty of attention. Today we're diving into her most insane properties, from her legendary Rhode Island party mansion to her Tribeca empire in NYC. And trust me, these cribs are next level. The Rhode Island Party Palace. Since 2013, Taylor Swift has owned an iconic Rhode Island mansion, which she reportedly purchased in cash for $17.75 million. Yeah, cash, like she just walked in with a briefcase full of hundreds or something. Known as Holiday House, this home sits on a prime 5.23-acre waterfront lot on the highest point in Watch Hill, offering spectacular views at Fisher Island Sound, Little Narragansett Bay, and the Watch Hill Lighthouse. With 700 feet of shoreline and access to the Atlantic Ocean, it's no wonder this property has become the setting for some of Taylor's most memorable parties. From her legendary 4th of July gatherings to her more recent celebrity-packed get-togethers, Swift has hosted some major parties over the last year, celebrating with friends as she took breaks from her Eras tour. The guest list? We're talking Blake Lively, Ryan Reynolds, Bradley Cooper, and her boyfriend Travis Kelce. You know, just casual Tuesday vibes. At one of the bigger parties, photos showed the A-list crowd enjoying the large outdoor space, taking in the ocean views from the terraces and making full use of the private beach. Because when you're Taylor Swift, your backyard is literally the Atlantic Ocean. Taylor's mansion spans 12,000 square feet and features 8 bedrooms, 8 fireplaces, high ceilings, and a pool. The interior combines classic charm with modern touches, including a dining room that seats 8, a sub-zero fridge in the kitchen, and period features like hardwood floors, crown molding, and fireplaces from the original 1904 construction. Swift often shares glimpses of the home's cozy and elegant spaces during gatherings. One famous, now deleted, Instagram post showed her and her friends like Gigi Hadid hanging around her kitchen island, just casually chilling in a multi-million-dollar mansion like it's a college dorm. But here's where it gets really interesting. Swift's mansion has a rich history that even inspired one of her songs. In her 2020 track, The Last Great American Dynasty, she recounts the story of the home's previous owner, Rebecca Harkness, widow of Standard Oil heir William Hale Harkness. Together, they called the mansion Holiday House. Swift learned about Harkness when she first heard the home, and the song details the colorful life of Harkness, who filled the estate with lively parties before it sat vacant for 50 years. The lyrics reflect the legacy that she's created within the walls of this historic home. Pretty dope when you buy a house so legendary it becomes a whole song. Over the years, Taylor's Rhode Island mansion has become more than just a residence. It's a beloved gathering spot for friends, a retreat for family, and an unforgettable part of her life. Whether she's hosting her Girl Squad on the sandy shoreline or just enjoying the incredible views, Swift has turned Holiday House into a destination. With an assessed value now exceeding over $20 million, this mansion remains one of the most recognizable celebrity homes, full of history, luxury, and charm. The Tribeca takeover. While Taylor adores her Rhode Island retreat, she also loves New York City, where she has plenty of real estate. And when I say plenty, I mean she basically bought out an entire neighborhood. In Manhattan, Taylor essentially claimed a piece of Tribeca for herself, spending $47.7 million on a series of properties over the years. Yeah, she basically bought the entire block. Because why settle for one apartment when you can own the whole building? And here's the thing about Tribeca. It's not just expensive, it's exclusive. We're talking about the same neighborhood where Jay-Z and Beyoncé live, where the average apartment costs millions, and Taylor just dropped nearly $49 million to create her own personal compound. That's some mob boss level real estate strategy right there. Her launch into Tribeca began in 2014 when she purchased 2 neighboring penthouses for $19.95 million. Then in 2018, she added a 3,500-foot unit on the second floor of the same building for nearly $10 million. At this point, she's just playing Monopoly with real buildings. Swift's Tribeca duplex boasts stunning interiors and unique features, including an indoor pool, because apparently outdoor pools are for peasants. The master suite offers floor-to-ceiling windows with breathtaking views of Manhattan, while each bedroom showcases its own distinct style and charm. Imagine waking up every morning and seeing the entire Manhattan skyline from your bed. That's not a vacation, that's just Tuesday for Taylor. Throughout the space, classic elements like chandeliers and ornate headboards add old-world elegance. The informal dining room has a wall of windows and a pass-through window to the kitchen, which is equipped with stainless steel appliances. Other highlights include a double-height living room with grand chandelier and fireplace, as well as a cozy den with a second fireplace and beamed ceilings. Bro has more fireplaces than most people have rooms. Like, who needs that many fireplaces in New York City? But when you're Taylor Swift, you don't ask why, you ask why not. In 2017, Taylor expanded her Tribeca compound by purchasing a historic 4-story townhouse next door for $18 million. This 100-year-old home includes a gym, spa, antique wide plank wood floors, and a landscaped terrace with a Japanese paper glass wall. At this point, she's not buying property, she's building an empire. The Cornelia Street connection. Now, another notable property in Taylor's real estate history is her former rental townhouse on Cornelia Street in the West Village, which she rented in 2016 during her Tribeca renovation. This 153-year-old former carriage house with a charming brick exterior and modern interiors last hit the market for $17.99 million. Yeah, $45,000 a month rent, that's more than most people make in a year, and she was just using it as a temporary crash pad while her real place was getting updated. Think about that for a second. Most people stress about finding a place to crash for a few months during renovations. Maybe they stay with family or rent a cheap Airbnb. Taylor, she drops $45,000 on a temporary rental and then writes a hit song about the street it's on. The house is now worth way more than it was before, probably just because Taylor lived there. That's the kind of power we're talking about here. What's wild is that Taylor is not just buying these places to show off. Each property has a story, a history, and a purpose. The Rhode Island mansion became the backdrop for some of her most iconic moments and even inspired one of her songs. The Tribeca complex gives her privacy and luxury in the heart of Manhattan, while also serving as a fortress against paparazzi. The Cornelia Street rental became immortalized in her music and turned into a tourist destination. She's not just collecting real estate, she's collecting experiences, memories, and stories. And when you're worth $1 billion, you can afford to make every home legendary. But here's what separates Taylor from a lot of other celebrities. She actually uses these places. She's not just buying properties as investments or tax write-offs, she's hosting legendary parties, creating memories with friends, and living her life in these spaces. And let's be real about the money for a second. Taylor's real estate portfolio is worth over $100 million. That sounds insane, and it is. But when you consider that she's a billionaire, that means she's only spent about 10% of her net worth on real estate. Kim Kardashian is worth over $1.7 billion. And while everyone knows her from Keeping Up with the Kardashians and that one tape we don't talk about, what people don't realize is that she's built one of the most impressive real estate portfolios in Hollywood. We're talking about a $25 million minimalist mansion that looks like it's from the future and enough property to basically own her own neighborhood. Today we're breaking down Kim's real estate empire, and trust me, this is next level bougie. Before we dive in, we're grinding to hit 1,000 subscribers, and we need your help. So smash that subscribe button right now. The Hidden Hills Fortress. Let's start with Kim's crown jewel, her massive estate in Hidden Hills, California. This is the most exclusive gated community in LA, about 30 miles from downtown, where neighbors include Drake, The Weeknd, and basically every Kardashian Jenner. Kim's estate spans 3 acres, plus she bought the 1.5-acre lot next door. She literally bought the neighbor's house just so she wouldn't have neighbors. That's peak Kardashian energy. The mansion itself is 17,000 square feet, 8.5 times bigger than the average American home. Built in 2012, Kim and Kanye bought it in 2014 for $20 million, then spent 4 years completely gutting and redesigning it with designers Axel Verdvert and Vincent Van Dyson. By 2018, the value hit $25 million. Now, let's talk about the interior, because this is where it gets wild. Kim's house is the complete opposite of what you'd expect from a reality TV star. No animal prints, no over-the-top chandeliers, no gold-plated toilets. Instead, it's all about modern minimalism with Japanese Zen aesthetics. The color palette is entirely neutral, various shades of beige, cream, white, and gray. Every single room flows into the next with this monochromatic scheme. It's like someone asked, what if we made a house entirely out of oatmeal? And Kim said, say no more. The whole place looks like a Kanye West album cover come to life. The home has 8 spacious bedrooms, each designed with the same minimalist approach. Clean lines, no clutter, and massive windows that let in natural light. The bedrooms aren't just rooms, they're sanctuaries. High ceilings, custom built-in furniture, and that signature neutral palette throughout. Then there are 2 grand living rooms. The main living room features floor-to-ceiling windows, low-profile furniture that looks like it's floating, and absolutely zero visual clutter. Everything is symmetrical, balanced, and perfectly placed. The second living room is more intimate but follows the same design philosophy. Less is more, and if it's not beige, it doesn't belong. 10 luxurious bathrooms spread throughout the house, and these aren't your regular bathrooms. We're talking about spa-like spaces with